Hi, here in Denver, Colorado, and today I'd like to talk about build. I'm going to talk about lanes and quadrants, the two basic stances, and how you throw a wrap shot. So, the idea with lanes and quadrants is that they're a way of describing the space around you in your stance. Lanes are used to describe the space around someone's sword. You have the outside lane, which is all of the space on the outside of their sword. And then the inside lane is all of the space between the sword and the body. Quadrants are used to talk about the shield, usually. And so you would imagine drawing a vertical line down the center of the shield, a horizontal line across the middle, and then you could label those quadrants as sword side, shield side, upper and lower. There are two different stances in sword and build. The first one is sword foot forward. And in this case, since I'm right-handed, that means my right foot is forward and my left foot is back. And this stance puts the sword side quadrants closer to the opponent. You want to block those quadrants with your sword. In either stance, you want the sword to block sword side, shield to block shield side. If you do it the other way, and you bring your shield across to block this hit, you might catch that shot, but you're leaving the other shoulder entirely open. The better way of doing that block is to bring your sword down and catch it. The other stance is shield foot forward, and in this stance, the sword side quadrants are further back, the shield side quadrants are toward the opponent. And if I turn sideways to the camera, you can see that what's exposed is this shoulder and this hip. They're not as exposed. It might be more difficult to hit them, but somebody could still try. You don't want to move your shield too much as you're blocking that side. If you move it, for example, all the way up to here to block your shoulder, you've opened up this hip that's close to your opponent, and you've also left your sword side much more open than it was. So a better way of doing that block, if you need to guard the shoulder, is to swivel your whole stance a little bit. It doesn't have to be much, but it just keeps the whole structure together, it keeps your defense in one piece, and it allows you to guard that shoulder. The last piece of this is how to throw a wrap shot. And that can be complicated, so I'm going to break it down step by step. Let's imagine that we have a flat surface in front of us. In this case, I'm not imagining it's my ironing board. Shout out here to Kiara and Kierra because I'm taking this explanation from their class that they taught at Gathering of the Clans. So there's two basic motions that go into a wrap shot. There's a horizontal sweep and there's a rotation. I'm going to show each of those motions separately and then how to put them together. So for the sweep, starting palm up, you take your sword and then you just sweep it across this flat plane. You're not turning your hand over, you're not moving the wrist. The motion is coming here from the shoulder. The rotational motion, think about what you do when you turn a doorknob. You take hold of it and then you turn it over. Again, I'm not turning my wrist, this is a rotation that's coming from the shoulder. My elbow is flexed a little bit, but it's just sort of moving naturally. So with the sword in hand, that looks more like this. So, putting it together, it's a sweep, and then turn over. So you're starting palm up, and after you've turned over at the end, it's landing palm down. So that's the basic motion. If you try throwing it at a target, let me move this. If we try throwing it at a target, we can see why wrap shots are useful for shields, because a shield has a lot of passive defense. So if you just throw a stab or a chop, you're likely to hit your shield. For example, I can stab So this, and I'm hitting kind of the front surface. So I'm throwing kind of a diagonal chop, and that's kind of bouncing off the front surface. If I throw a wrap shot, it can reach all the way around the back. So if I do that slowly, doing that horizontal sweep, and then I'm turning over. What you want to avoid is powering the shot from your wrist. Your wrist should be almost totally static during this whole process. The power of the shot should be coming from the rest of your body, from the shoulder, and the rest, your elbow and wrist are sort of staying static and allowing the shot to happen. So I hope that was useful. We talked about lanes and quadrants, the two different stances in sword and build, and then how to throw a wrap shot and why we might need to fight in sword and build. Thanks for watching, and please let me know if you have any questions.